Welcome back to Naval Action, and I just thought I'd do what I hope will be a quick video on how you go treasure hunting. So basically all you need to do is turn on fishing. You click that one time and you turn on fishing, and now as I sail around or even sit still, I will passively fish. About every 3 or 4 minutes a fish will jump into your hull, and you can turn it into fish meat, or if it's a sexy time fish, you can find a port, typically a free port, to sell it at. Some of the fish will go for $5,000 and $7,500 at the different ports. However, if you're really lucky, what will happen is you'll get a sealed bottle. If you use a sealed bottle, you get a warning that says you'll lose all previously discovered shipwrecks. Now I don't have any other bottles open, so I can open my bottle, and so now if I go to my map, what we'll see is here, just down here, there's a shipwreck icon. So what I'm going to do is head off in that direction. It was around this neck of the woods, on the backside of, in this case, Banaka. Now, what you want to be doing is going, you have to make sure it isn't in shallows, obviously, because if you're in a deep water draft ship and it was in these shallows, it'd be no good for you. But what I'm going to do is, I'm going in a trader's cutter. Now, if I was in more friendly waters, I might use a bigger ship for this one. But you want a ship that's got a hold of at least 400. The ship's got 800, so I should be fine. It will tell me on the wreck what type of ship it is. So this belongs to a Serb. This is a wrecked Serb. I have to say I don't know if the type of ship indicates sexier loot or not. I've only had 2 bottles since I've been sailing. My first was a Trincomalee. Now I've got the Congra Bleezes Serb. So let's have a little look as to what sort of goodies I've found. So it should be southwest once I get through these islands. I'm delighted to see it stop raining. It's been raining for about the last 3 days, sailing days. So hopefully I can navigate my way through these shallows and you'll see me finding a shipwreck. And the shipwreck looks like a shipwreck, as a shipwreck should. It's all a bit Pirates of the Caribbean. Have we caught any more fish while we've been sailing? We've picked up a snapper. There we go. So that's a boring fish. It's quite nice with a little bit of breadcrumb. Or on its own with white wine, garlic and butter, but that's a different video tube. Jeheil's cooking tips. One of the advantages of going in a trader's cutter is they just sail really nicely into the wind. So if you ever get tagged in one of these things, put yourself 30 degrees, so about 3 nipples off the wind. And you should be able to get away from anything else other than another trader's cutter. Nothing else sails quite as well close hauled. So the other bonus you can do now, if you've not seen my other vids, is it tells you where you are. So I'm at 82.27, which puts me about there. And I'm at 18.94, which puts me about there. So I need to probably turn a little bit further south, maybe 1 doodah south. That's too close hauled. And just start scanning around the horizon. Fortunately, the wind is going to come into me. Hopefully, I'll get there first. Now, because I'm miles away from home. Oh, hello, what's that? There we go, a shipwreck. Because I'm miles away from home, there it is, doesn't that look lovely and shipwrecky? What I'll do is, after I've picked up my loot from this, I'll go to a free port, in this case Banaka, and I'll use the free port transportation system and send it to a free port closer to home, say Cayman Brac, and then wheat that back down to Carlisle rather than sail the full hour from Banaka to Carlisle. Okay, so we're closing in on the shipwreck now. I'm going to scan the horizon, make sure there's no baddies near me. I'm in, like I say, pirate-infested waters, and the Spanish love to screen, and right now they're not our best friends. And there's the ship, so I can start exploring now. I'll choose to take. So what have I got? I've got some gold, I've got a steel toolbox, a labour contract, and some coins. So we'll hit take, and 3 seconds to pick up the goods. And we do a U-turn, and we head back to our free port. We hope no baddies catches. So there you go, easy as that to go treasure hunting. So let's have a little look at what I got out of that. Let's get my setting right. So I can open up here. Now if I'd have got a bottle while I was heading to that ship and opened it, it would have deleted that particular ship and put the new one on, so you can only be doing one at a time. So my labour contract gives me 500 hours, so I love that, so I'm going to use that. I can't use it while I'm sailing, how disappointment. 115 coins, that's good for making notes with. 137 coins, again, great for using notes with. So if you're not much of a crafter, 400 hours will get you 2 notes with the silver, or 500 hours will get you 2 notes with the gold, and they'll sell for 75 to 100k depending on your server. Now the other thing is I got a steel toolbox. Oh, I got an exceptional steel toolbox. Look at that. That is super duper. These steel toolboxes, by the way, are excellent bits of clobber. They massively increase the amount of repair that you're doing. Let me just move this here so you can see. And they reduce the repair time, and they do 10% extra repair on everything, so that's beautiful. They're my mod du jour at the moment, especially if you're sailing a big ship, because obviously the bigger ships, that 10% requires people to do a lot more damage. So there you go. That's how you do a bit of treasure hunting from the fishing. Now before I log off, I'll show you how to send things through the what do you call them, open ports. Through the free ports, the free towns. I'll show you how you transport goods. So let me have a little look at the map and make a decision where I'm going to send it. So I could send it to Cayman Brac, or I could send it to Isla Vache. Both of those would get me home to Kingston in about the same time. They're both busy ports full of baddies. When you send something to a free port, it takes about, depends on the distance, this one will be about 8 hours to ship it back home. I've got to start scanning the horizon now in case any baddies appear. At the moment there's no knowledge as to what makes bottles drop, it's a bit RNG. I've been playing a fair bit since the patch dropped, and I've managed to pull 2 bottles out of the water. One of the guys I sail with has been sailing for the same amount of time, and he's pulled bugger all out of the water. So it's a bit random. They did just do a little hotfix where they claimed to have reduced the drop rate on the bottles, on the sealed bottles. So maybe that was a bit lucky that I snagged another one today. I think it was rewards for capping a port. No, it wasn't a reward for capping a port, it was karmaic reward for capping a port. We went in there to do a quick grab, just a few of us, thinking that the single tower would fell a small port, a shallow port, but it doesn't work. You still have to kill all three, which in all honesty I prefer. I don't really like the silliness of the one tower dropping. It means that you can take a port in about 11 minutes, which doesn't really give people time to get there, does it? Right, so we'll start lining up on the port now. That's a nice big fleet. Should a dirty pirate jump out and decide to try and do harm to me? So let's just line up on the jetty. Typically, not always, but typically lining up on the jetty is the best way to avoid shallows. Most of the ports have pretty much a straight line in on the jetty. We'll assume that that's where the dredgers have been. Alright, so we head on into Banaka. Now I don't need to move my module. I got that super beautiful module because your modules stay with your ship wherever you are. So I'll come in here. Go to equipment. I'm going to use my contract hours. So I'll just show you at the moment I've got 260 hours spare. And then I come here and I can use my contract hours. They're worth 500 each. And they do sell these quite well on people's markets. People like to buy the contract hours. And now I've got 784. So that's marvellous. And then we go to equipment. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag my gold coins down here, drag my fish. And then if you do the sort, what it'll do is it'll stack things. So you'll see I've got 125 silver, 137 silver, and so on and so forth. So I do a sort. And it stacks it all up for me, which is nice. And then what we do is you can do deliveries. You choose the outpost you want it to go to. So I'm going to choose Ilavash. And I'm going to send my rum. I'm going to send my silver coins, my gold coins, and my high grade note. And that'll cost me 23,000 gold. And it'll take 6 hours. Hit send. And that's the quickest way to move goods now, long distance. And it's sent, so don't hit cancel ever, in 6 hours or so that will all arrive in Ilavash. I'll convert the rest of this to fish meat. So you just right click on your fish. If you go into the shop in especially in free ports, click on food, you'll see what the port pays for different food. Here it's a bit rubbish. Some of the ports they offer big prices for some of the fish. This one doesn't. Yeah, and that's about it. So there you go, treasure hunting in naval action. Just a quick video. Hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you on the oceans, and I'll catch you. Give us a like, give us a subscribe. Cheers.